we get these very extreme storms that cause a lot of damage to houses and schools and clinics, and also result in flooding. Now that is climate change, and it is something that is going to get worse and worse as the years go on. It also creates this problem of pests, locusts, worms, all these things that are infesting our animals and also affecting our crops. And lastly, here in Northwest, we have a problem that good agricultural land that used to be suitable for raising cattle is now getting invaded by woody plants and very tough bushes that are difficult to get rid of. So the question is, what can we do? The first thing is that we've agreed with Minister Didiza that we have to do more to remove alien vegetation and these woody plants that are invading the land so that it is no longer suitable for the raising of cattle. The second thing, Mr. President, was you spoke about the Innovation Hub here. This Innovation Hub is doing wonderful work to guide this province in terms of what we call climate-smart agriculture. How to grow crops using drought-resistant seeds, and how to grow crops in a manner that uses less water. In order to deal with disasters, we are working with every municipality in the country to develop what we call an adaptation strategy. And I think that it will be very important that we investigate exactly together with COCTA how strong are the disaster management structures here, so that there must be advance warning of these extreme storms and better management of them when they occur. We also need to change land use, and we've been working not necessarily in this district but in other districts with game farmers, because as it gets drier and as we have these extreme storms, normal domestic animals do not survive as well. And we're starting to look at game farming and game donations to emerging farmers so that we can have animals that can produce meat who can survive the difficult conditions that are emerging. Lastly, we are working together with an organization, Mr. President, called People and Parks. And this organization represents traditional authorities and land claimants who are concerned that our communities are not benefiting adequately from the protected areas that exist in this province. And it's something that we are very passionate about, because you can't have conservation in a situation where local communities are not benefiting. And we are working at the moment together with Minister Didiza and Minister Mosenoche on some of the difficulties that exist in this province with regard to land claimants in the Pilanesberg area. Thank you very much.
On this specific issue, the phone and the messages.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maybe having heard the letter, letters that get written and don't come back. It reminds me of the song esithi Tibangabhala incwadi asibuyi. Tibangabhala abantwana abaphenduli. Tibangabhala umama akaphenduli. Tibangabhala utata akaphenduli. So the question is, can we make sure that the letters that get written to the president are replied to? I think it speaks, Mr. President, to a bigger question. Maybe let me answer that directly first before I don't take much time. We are dealing with that matter because there is a unit. I just want, before I speak about digitization, I want to speak first about letters because a number of our people don't have access to digital, what to call, infrastructure. On the letters, we've got a group of people who are supposed to be dealing with this. Our analysis is that they need to be reorganized, to be refocused, and be focused and reorganized so that they also are able to be under a radar system where they can be made to explain their execution of this job. We are not happy with the way the work is being done now. We are working on that. Secondly, we are moving forward on this matter because at some stage, the president would have put together a hotline. We have analyzed that hotline, Mr. President. It's in the hospital. Because it's in the hospital, we are rehabilitating it by digitizing it. There's a unit in TPM which is working on that. Because why it is critical that it should work is because now we came to Northwest. President went to the Innovation Hub. President went to the hotel school, came here, set of questions were raised, we made undertakings. If this infrastructure is working, the president is able to get timelessly if the undertakings are being taken care of. For instance, Fia Fogel said he's going to come back here. The hotline tells us immediately if that is what to call, that is happening. And what does it take care of? It takes care of an accountable government, of a transparent government, of a consequence managing government. We're already speaking about politicians who make undertakings, who do not perform, including myself, as per the undertaking. When this infrastructure works, we are able timelessly to know which projects are actually carrying or which are not carrying. In other words, one of the things, Mr. President, we did on Friday, we were doing presentation on the integrated M&E framework, and we sent a message that there is not going to be a free lunch intervention anymore.
Okay, my last intervention before I close is going to be Minister Dlamini Zuma on Section 100. Akerle re alisa ibatla Section 100. So she will deal with that. For Rituella Pili, Section 100 for another 5 years. Minister Dlamini Zuma. Seki puela fela ya no.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. In the interest of time, let me say that the team that's working, the ministerial team and the officials team, have already put an exit plan, which we have already submitted to Cabinet, and Cabinet has already accepted it. But what is the next step is that because the law says Section 100 must also be dealt with by the NCOP. We have sent that report to the NCOP. We're waiting for them to call us and sign off if they sign off on that report, exit report, then it will be systems go and we will exit. There was never a plan to stay here forever. But Let me also say, because we're working in the district model now, it's easy to exit because we'll all be working together as the 3 districts. So we're waiting, re-emetsi the NCOP to call us. And then once that happens, systems go. Thank you.
Ke a leboga, Minister Dlamini Zuma. Ke batla go feleletsa ka gore this has been a most meaningful Imbizo as we call it. And I'd like to thank you all, ke le leboge kaofela, those 39 people who were able to ask questions, and many more ba ile ba kwala dipotso tsa bona kapo ditletlebo tsa bona and put them at that desk. I want to thank you. Imbizo gives us an opportunity and a platform as government to be able to interact with our people, with our communities. This is a process that we are now starting and we are going to spread throughout the country. And as I said right at the beginning, Northwest has been chosen as the first to test drive this Imbizo process, and it is very, very successful. And thank you very much to you all. It is also giving us an opportunity to get new thinking, new ideas, suggestions, and you have raised a lot of complaints as well of a service delivery type. And I'm very, very grateful that our ministers were here and they were able to respond to many of the issues that you have raised. This is the integrated government system at play. The district development model is now getting into full gear, and we are going to be utilizing it more and more so that as the government, we stop working in silos. Gore mongwe le mongwe a ska ba le sa gagwe fela a emele ko thoko. Kaofela rona, we must work together in an integrated way. And I'm very pleased that most of the replies that were given here are a clear demonstration that we are now becoming more and more integrated, and we are going to address the challenges that our people have and face. Now, it also is going to open up many opportunities, particularly here, also in Northwest. Northwest is one of our poorer provinces, not the poorest, but one of our poorer provinces. We need to generate more and more economic activity. We've got many endowments, many endowments. And as Minister Dlamini Zuma always says, we've got endowments that we've got to heighten. We've got mining, which is a major industry here, and Minister Mantashe is on top of this. And I was very pleased for some of our champions. Ghana, I appointed champions for the minister and deputy ministers who stay focused on what we need to do as a government on each of our provinces. Now, those champions have been doing really good work. And at times, they've been making interventions that stop bad things from happening. At times, they've been taking initiatives, working together with our provincial government, our premier and MECs, as well as at local government level. Now, our local government sector is hugely challenged. Northwest. But the focus that we are now going to place on governance, on improving the capacity of the state, is going to result in very positive results for us so that we are able to strengthen government, we are able to strengthen even local government. Go na le bao at local government level ba ikemiseditseng gore bona ba batlo senya bo masepala ba rona And I want to warn them, we are not going to allow that. We are not going to allow Bomaspala Baruna to go back to what they were before. Kenze kukwa dipuonyana hotu maspala o, but they don't want to work together, balwana and so forth. Now we want those fights to be a thing of the past. Rebatla hore kaofela rona as councillors and MECs and all that, we must work together. But the important thing as well is we must rid our municipalities and our government, of course, of corruption. Go tswa a go fele, re sebeletse setšhaba. Re batla gore corruption must come to an end. We must work for our people, focus on what is best for our people. On our side, we are going to focus on service delivery. You've heard all the ministers who spoke here. They are going to come back with a number of programs. They are going to be focusing on what needs to be done. Now, this is the way we are now going to move forward as government in an integrated way, in a cooperative way, doing things together so that we can improve the lives of our people. But more importantly, so that we can create jobs. Ke batla ho feleletsa ka gore ntho e ba e bitsang COVID-19 a e so fele. I want to continue encouraging all of us gore we must vaccinate. How vaccinateile o ilo etsa ba re keng ke booster. Le nna ha nako e ntse e dumela gompieno ke lo etsa booster ya ka gona fa. Ke lo etsa vaccination e nngwe. I want to encourage all of us. Whether the state of disaster, the important thing is we must vaccinate and ensure we are vaccinated. Report where they are imposing further lockdowns. Google China, they are imposing another lockdown because there's suddenly been a flare-up. So we are not yet out of the woods. It is still there, and therefore it's important that we should be protected through vaccination. So in the end, I want to thank everybody who's been involved in organizing this whole Imbizo process, from the ordinary people who were just doing their basic organizing, to those who did the conceptualization. And I want to thank the deputy ministers and the officials who've gone throughout this whole region, this province in fact, consulting with our people, responding to issues that need to be addressed. Much as we may be facing enormous challenges and difficulties, as South Africans, we have it in us to overcome our challenges. We are going to overcome all the challenges that we are facing. Many of us are feeling there's a lot of confidence that is emerging in our country, and I want us to spread this confidence. Let's go and spread the message about what we have heard. Carry forward to good government, forward. Forward to progress, forward. Amandla. Amandla. Forward with our government, forward. Ke a leboga. Le sa le mpile.